We know that verbs show us the tense of a sentence. The tense changes depending on when something happened, is happening, or will happen. In this lesson, we're going to be learning all about the perfect tense. Today we will learn what the present perfect tense is, learn how to use the present perfect tense, learn what the past perfect tense is, learn how to use the past perfect tense. Firstly, we're going to look at the present perfect tense. The present perfect is the tense we use if we want to show that there's a link between the present, right now, and the past. When Grace tells Otis, "You've worked so hard," she's linking all the preparation Otis did in the past to that very moment in the present. The hard work isn't quite over for Otis, he still has to perform his speech. The present perfect tense allows the writer to show that the working hard is something that has been happening in the past and continues to be relevant in the present. Let's read a biography of an amazing poet, Amanda Gorman, and learn more about what the present perfect tense is and how to use it. Amanda Gorman, addressing America. Can you imagine speaking to an audience of 34 million people? Would you feel nervous? When she was just 22 years old, poet Amanda Gorman had to face this scary task. Gorman was invited to speak at an event marking the start of Joe Biden's presidency in America. She was broadcast on live television reading her poem called The Hill We Climb, and was watched by millions of viewers across the world. Very few poets have reached such a large audience. Although it was a lot of pressure, Gorman was excited. She had been creating poetry for several years and often wrote about her experiences as a young black woman in America. By reading her poetry at a president's ceremony, Gorman was able to share these experiences on an international platform. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried. For Gorman, creating art has always been an essential part of life. Born in California in 1998, she grew up with a strong interest in literature. By the time she'd left school, Gorman had filled countless notebooks with poetry and writing, and it wasn't long before this talent was recognised. In 2017, Gorman was named as the first National Youth Poet Laureate, and this recognition opened many paths for her. Since then, she has won several other titles and awards for her work. Although she has achieved so much at a young age, Gorman wants the world to know that she is only just getting started. I am not the lightning that strikes once. I am the hurricane that comes every single year, and you can expect to see me again soon. Amanda Gorman continues to be a poet and an activist, speaking out about issues she cares deeply about. She loved writing as a child, in the past, and she still loves writing today, in the present. That's why we see so many examples of the present perfect. It links the past with the present. So now we've looked at the ways we use the present perfect tense, let's learn how to form it in our own writing. The present perfect tense is formed of two parts. The auxiliary verb have plus the past participle of the main verb. You have to change the form of have depending on the subject who's doing the action. Let's take a look. I have learned. You have learned. He has learned. We have learned. You have learned. They have learned. What about if you want to make a sentence negative? No problem. We simply change the auxiliary verb. I haven't learned. You haven't learned, etc. And what if we want to make this sentence into a question or an interrogative? Well, the words stay the same, but the word order changes. We move the auxiliary verb to the start of the sentence. Have I learned? Have you learned? There's one rule to remember, though. We never use the present perfect with a specific time in the past. We wouldn't write, Amanda Gorman had presented her poem on January the 20th, 2021. When an action happened at a specific time, use the simple past tense. Amanda Gorman presented her poem on January the 20th, 2021. So now we know. We use the present perfect tense to talk about actions that happened in the past but continue to be relevant in the present.